action is a good thing if it is grounded by energy. It's not such a good thing if it is in opposition to the energy that is flowing. For example, let's say that here I am in my human form, and I haven't been accomplishing very much, and I don't like where I live, and I don't like what I'm eating, and I'm not happy with what I'm driving, and I'm not very happy with my life. In other words, I feel like there's so much more for me. Well, in every bit of life, I've created a vortex, so it's all queued up and ready for me, and there's so much potential for me that's already there that I've not been allowing myself to receive. But right now, I'm discouraged, and so I'm discouraged, and I've decided that I'm going to just do something about it. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and so I'm just going to dig in, and I'm just going to make it happen. So I just go out and I beat the pavement, and I look for work, and I say to others, I'm just really tired of failing, and now I want to succeed. And from that attitude and from that mood, I go to a lot of effort, and I turn over a lot of whatevers, and I don't find very much success in all of that. But I get this job which is really hard and long hours and doesn't pay much, and this job which is really hard and doesn't pay very much. Now I'm working 3 and 4 and 5 jobs because I'm determined that I'm going to get myself out of this. But in my lack of belief in myself, and in my disappointment of where I am, and in my constant complaint about my plight, I am preventing myself from hooking up with all of these resources that are all queued up for me. And that's when we say you just can't get to where you want to be from there.
Sure. Is any effort required to make money or to have money into your bank account? No, I'm serious. This is a real question because...
No, it isn't. It isn't. But here's a way of looking at it that we really want you to hear. No effort is required, but it is inspired. And the reason that effort will be inspired is because inspired effort is really, really fun. It's so fun, you don't even call it effort. What you call effort is the stuff that's not inspired. And if it's not inspired, it's not fun, and then it's effort. But if it's inspired, then it's just the best idea you ever had. And then it's an impulse, and then it's the right place, right time, and then it's others helping you, and then it's synergy, and then it's magic and power and effort, and you're going through motions and you're moving your body, but the energy that creates worlds is flowing through you. This receptive mode that we've been talking about all day here today, it's not just the receptive mode, it's the replenishing mode. You receive, and it continues to fill you and inspire you, and you wake up and there's more flowing and more flowing and more flowing and more flowing and more flowing. Not required, but it is inspired, and when it is, you will want to act. We do not know anyone who's in their physical bodies, who's tuned into this non-physical energy, who is not wanting to be more and more and more active. Think in terms of manifestation. Manifestation, and you might couple effort with that. Manifestation is a further leading edge. It's ready to be 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 ready. And then there's action, there's motion, there's interaction. There's action in almost everything that's delicious.
How do I rectify that with the wisdom or the teachings of, I've been in the business world for as long as I can remember, and you listen to Shark Tank where they're always talking about like how hard they had to grind to get to where they're at. And I can't meet a business person who's going to tell me, I got into the vortex and I'm inspired into action. It's very rare. I'm not saying it's not. And I'm not saying that I don't believe you. Of course, this is how I've lived my life for years.
We do not know one successful being, and we know all of them, who didn't utilize this energy that creates worlds in their success.
They just don't understand it? Is that what you're saying? Or they don't know how to convey it? And
maybe it is that so many people are living a rather conditional life where they need someone to do some things of action. So they need to convince you that you need to be the actor in their dream. It's like someone saying to you, don't be selfish. And what they mean is, do my selfish bidding, not your own.
I'm not sure I understand that.
Well, then you're not trying very hard.
Is that your way of getting me to understand it?
Well, we can see how you might not be able to relate it to the other things that you were asking about. So here's how it works. Life causes you to ask for a lot of things, and over time you amass really a wonderful vibrational start to manifestations. And these manifestations, the knock on wood realized ones, are more satisfying than these vibrational, what you might want to call babies or fetuses even. But they are there just the same. This beginning of what you want is there. When you contemplate how much momentum you had coming into this physical body, and when you realize that you're really on the right track when you want to turn thoughts to things, because you are a manifesting genius. Now, we've been saying you are the creator of your own reality. Now we're going to say it to you in a way that, especially you right here and now with the questions that you're asking and the way you're wanting to dovetail the action part with the energy part. So we're going to say you are the creator of your own reality and you are a master of manifestation. You are the creator of your own reality and you are a master of earthly manifestation, because the manifestation out here, this is the leading edge. In other words, it's nice to have these thoughts about your vortex, but it is so much more to bring those thoughts forward where you can experience them with all of your physical senses. And so we're just going to say it. It's better to manifest your dreams than to dream them unmanifested. All right? You are a manifesting genius. You are a deliberate creator. And so these are the things that have been tripping people up for a very long time, because you don't really realize how much energy is involved. You only realize the action part of it. So our whole body of work is to help you to understand what comes before the action part. Most humans want to skip the action part. Most people want to stand in the absence of something they want and proclaim that they want it, but they don't want to be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready, and then they miss the most important part. They miss the joy of discovering that, and the joy of discovering that, and the joy of discovering that. They just want the mark on the chart for the big bucks that are in their bank account. They don't often want the clarity and the ingenuity and all of the stuff that comes to them along the way. But your inner being knows everything that's in your vortex. Do you know, in your vortex, you're not just asking for a pile of money or for a highly rated, successful company. You are asking for that, but not only for that. You're asking for clarity, and you're asking for intuition. You're asking for sensitivity. You're asking for love and harmony. You're asking for so many things. And so your inner being is going to lead you to your massive fortune. Yes, your inner being will. But your inner being is also going to lead you to your humanity, to your clarity, to your compassion, to your wholeness. In other words, your inner being is going to guide you to the whole of who you are, so that every step along the way is this savory, succulent, delicious, divine, meaningful manifestation on your way to more and more and more and more and more. And so many people just want to say, well, set your goal for money and get right there to the money, and that takes a lot of effort. And we want to say, hold everything. The effort that they're guiding you toward will prevent you from having the majority of what's in your vortex that you want. Yes, you want the money, but you want so much more. And you can have it all. And nothing less than having it all will be satisfactory to you. So where is your confusion? What is it that isn't jiving for you?
I think it's just mixed messages from many influences in my life.
Well, of course, there are so many influences around you, but we were talking about that earlier. Your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to everything that you want. And when you tune to that vibration, your inner being will guide you incrementally and precisely to every single thing that you want.
And when you're not feeling inspired, when your bank account is, something that can cause fear within you, you look at it and you're saying, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Well, keep looking at it and you'll hold yourself in that same vibration and it can't get better. That's how you introduce resistance into it and slow your progress. In other words, you can't get around it. You cannot harbor negative emotion in response to what you're observing and get to where you want to be. It defies the laws of the universe. And anybody that tells you hard work while you've got fear will get you there is not explaining it the way it works. You could have fear and begin working hard, and you could be distracted from your fear. We're not saying that sometimes action doesn't cause you to feel better, and when you feel better, then you get better results. We're just wanting to show you the way you can use the leverage of non-physical to assist you. We are not saying that those teachers that teach those things are wrong. Often it is a misunderstanding. Sometimes people will say to us, Abraham, I went here, or I read this book, and I heard this and this and this. And what we always respond to is where they are in relationship to what they heard. We're not responding to what was originally written. We're responding to where they are in relationship to what they heard, you see. Esther, in the beginning, she would say to us, Abraham, why are they lying? Because she'd hear of other teachers that were saying things that weren't the things like Abraham was saying, and she'd come to trust what we were saying, and so she didn't like it when others were teaching a different method. Why are they teaching things that aren't going to work? Or why are they saying that? And we said, if every student were in the same place, there could be one teacher teaching them all the same thing. But that's not how it is. So we think that what we've accomplished here today in terms of a new conversation, better than ever before, is that we want to help you to integrate that you are spiritual beings in a physical world, and that the physical world is an extension of your spirituality, and that your success in your physical world is success of your spirituality. They're not separate. So often people have been sort of teaching and believing, mostly through religion, that God is perfect and non-physical and somewhere else, and you are here being tested and tried in order to prove yourself so that you can be there. What it really is what man wants to call God, all that non-physical energy, is forward-looking with you right here and now. And your success is the success of that non-physical energy. So you're out here, a pioneer, defining the specifics of what you're reaching for and casting a vibrational creation of them. And the source within you is beholding what you've put there and is believing in what you're asking for and is knowing the validity of what you're asking for and knowing that you can get there and willing to show you all of the ways that you can get there, understanding what beliefs you have that are in your way and what beliefs that you have that aren't in your way, knowing what your path of most resistance is to get what you want, knowing what your path of least resistance is. Sometimes your inner being will lead you to what feels like a problem to cause you to ask a big question that you need the answer to before you can answer the next. There's a whole sequence of things that you have to kind of understand. How often do you find yourself having been through something that you thought was troubling or unwanted, only to say, that's the best thing that ever happened to me because it caused me to ask for something that I didn't know that I needed to ask for in order to get there. But anytime, this is the bottom line of everything that we're talking about, and this is the big, big difference that we want to state unequivocally between so much that is being taught out there. Hard work and struggle does not lead you to alignment. And if you are not being led to alignment, you are not being led to the success that you are seeking. We don't know of anything that you're looking for, nothing that anyone wants or ever has wanted or ever will want. Whether it's a material object or a pile of money or a relationship or a circumstance or an event or an empire, there's nothing that anyone wants that is for any other reason than they believe they will feel better in the having of it. You are looking for the satisfaction of that. And if you will just let satisfaction take a more prominent role in what you're reaching for moment by moment, segment by segment, day by day, you'll click in to this ease and flow and legacy and blessedness. You'll click in to a pattern of help from the universe that will transform you into someone who loves yourself enough to not believe that suffering is the key. And when you let go of that, when you let go of that bogus taught by others who in some way benefited by your suffering, then you're free from circumstances that bind you. And then you're the uplifter that you were born to be. And then you're the teacher that you were born to be. And then you are the example of living happily after that you were born to be. We know it's a big stream. There's a big stream that says struggle is good for you. Struggle is good for all of us. But it isn't. It is an anomaly to who you are. Every thought within every particle of the universe, there is wanted and unwanted, or wanted and absence of wanted. And in struggle, there is discomfort, which means you're on the opposite end of the stick. And that really is the best way we can say you cannot get there from there.